We've been through this 5 separate times already. We've added 230 plus 6-scale figures, some absolute grails, as well as a few other little surprises that I can't wait to share with you. Strap in because this edition of the Collection Room Volume 6 is next. What's up everyone, and welcome back to the channel for the Collection Room Volume 6. Look, I get it. Any type of Collection Room tour is a huge time commitment and a huge ask for the viewer. Now, I want to make this as simple on you as possible. I have put the timestamps down below to all the different sections, whether it be Marvel, Star Wars, Game of Thrones, whatever it is that you're into, that you want to get to, go ahead and click that timestamp. Now, I hope you can stick around and watch the whole thing, but if you decide, hey, I need a break, there are breaks built in between the sections. So feel free to skip around, but please come back to the video. Make sure to like and subscribe to this channel. Let me know down below some of the figures that you really love, some of the things that you say you want in your collection, or maybe pieces that you do have. Let me know. So we're going to get into this. As I said, there are breaks along the way, so please enjoy the Collection Room Volume 6. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to the Collection Room Volume 6. Yes, after much time and building this out, we are ready to show it to you all today. Over 236 scale figures spread out across Marvel, Star Wars, Game of Thrones, and a little bit of everything in between. Now, as we go into this, I will be giving you a few other little tips and tricks to help boost your display, especially about this little bit of a black backdrop, as you might have noticed is an addition since the latest display for dummies, but we'll talk about that in a second. Now, I am going to do myself a favor. I'm going to open up each one of these cabinets. That way I'm not having to open and close all of them as we go through this. So let's get into this. We're going to start with Marvel. So that's where we started last time. Without further ado, let's get going. So right out of the gate, here is Yondu. Here is Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy. Back here is the Toys era, I believe, Ronin. In-game Rocket. And as you can see, there is a fig set back there, a way to boost your display. If you want to check them out, there is a link in the description below. But look at this head sculpt once again, one of my favorites in the entire collection. Moving down here, we do have some additional Guardians, starting with Drax the Destroyer. We have Volume 2, Guardians of the Galaxy, Gamora. And as you know, one of the longest delayed figures ever. Here's another classic head sculpt for some of the females, that being Nebula. Love the tailoring, this looks fantastic. As well as the Baby Groot and his Ravager outfit, the life-size version. And there's a little one down there as well. But overall, not a bad little display at all. Let's keep it going down here with the Omniscient from Toys era, that being Heimdall. Here is the first version, Adult Groot, with Rocket from Guardians Volume 1, and really love that head sculpt and the imposingness of that figure. Here is Stan Lee in his cameo from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Very cool figures overall. Moving down here, you can see a photo that my sister-in-law painted for me. And then we have a little bit tongue-in-cheek, a little bit of humor. We have Deadpool with Logan / Wolverine. As you see, Venompool. This is the Steel Wolf figure. I picked that up from Toy Department. So we got a Logan, and we have my first Hot Toys figure ever, Deadpool. And that is one that will never leave the collection. But it's a pretty cool set of figures right here. Hope you enjoy these. Certainly like them. Moving over here, we have my favorite figure from 2021, that being Venom. Here is the Queen of the Dark Spider with the Gwen Stacy Spider-Gwen head sculpt. Here is Venomized Groot, as well as the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Ghost Rider, the Robbie Reyes version. And it's a little bit different aesthetic putting all these together, but I think they look pretty darn good if you ask me. And as I mentioned, do not sleep on this Venom. This one's fantastic. You'll regret it if you don't get that. Now, moving down here to some Iron Men. We have the much desired Mark 6. I know a lot of people want that one reissued. Here is the Volume 2 or Version 2 of the Iron Man Mark 1. I do not plan on getting the diecast version of that one. But I will say all my Iron Men are diecast figures except for that Mark 1. So we do have the diecast Mark 6 as well as the Mark 2. Now you will notice down here is something I mentioned in my displays video recently. These are some little plastic risers that really help elevate the display. I really think it gives it a little bit of extra something. And we do have this special edition holographic piece that did come with the Mark II. So we went ahead and added that there as well. Moving on with more Iron Man figures. Focusing on Iron Man 2, we do have Whiplash that I got off for an amazing deal on Amazon. We do have the Mark V head sculpt on a custom Tony Racing suit. It's a little worse for wear, but I will be getting a new one there. But here's the Mark V, one of my favorite Iron Man armors, and I really do like that. There is a re-release coming, so if you missed out on the Mark V, now's a good time to get it, because it's a fantastic figure. So many cool things. Moving down here to some other figures that aren't as desirable, but I think are just as good as everything else. We got War Machine from Endgame. We have Hawkeye as Ronin. I ended up picking up this after Hawkeye, the TV show, came out. It's a super underrated figure, and I needed him to be displayed just like this. Here is another sleeper on a die-cast figure, that being the War Machine Punisher. And as you can see, all these look really, really good. Great silhouettes between them. Moving on here to the Odinson family. As you can see, we have an SL Custom President Loki. We have the Hela from Ragnarok, one of the best female sculpts they've ever done. Infinity War Thor with his eye patch, as well as Ragnarok Loki. And overall, I think these look pretty good. And once again, this SL Customs Loki, just wanted to say, for $100 or so is not a bad value at all. So if you want one, definitely get one. Now, here are some figures that deserve their own shelf. These are the Netflix Daredevil and Punisher. These are incredible figures, highly desirable. Got the John Bernthal head sculpt. Amazing piece, as well as Matt Murdock, Charlie Cox's Daredevil. And I do love the swappable bottom faceplates out, so you can have a different type of display for that. Overall, these are two incredibly stunning pieces. Happy to have them in the collection. Moving down here, showing some love to Johnny Depp and a lot of different characters of his. Here is Tonto from The Lone Ranger. Here is one of my favorite figures of all time, the DX-15 Captain Jack Sparrow. Love that, love the sculpt, love the special diorama base here with the ship and the water and the shark. Super cool. Here is a figure I get a little bit of heat from because it's a knockoff. I know people don't like that, but it is Davy Jones. Here's Tonto once again. And here is Gellert Grindelwald, or Grindelwald, however you like to pronounce it, from Fantastic Beasts. But they all come with great accessories. They all have great shelf presence, so show some love to Johnny Depp. Moving down here, we have the Spider-Man PS4 suit, the Toys era, the Ock. I do plan to get the other Hot Toys Dr. Octopus at some point, but here is Spider-Gwen, Gwen Stacy, as well as Miles Morales from the PS5 game. So gotta love Spider-Ham down there as well. Let's not forget about him. And I do love this special classic suit Spidey scorpion tail that it came with. Really, really cool. Love that. And speaking of Spider-Man, let's keep this going here. We have, once again, this plastic riser. Gives it a nice effect there, floating on the drone. But here is Tom Holland's Peter Parker in his Night Monkey outfit. Here is his classic suit, or I'm sorry, the homemade suit, as well as Mysterio. An incredible figure, as well as the Molten Man base. But let's take a look up here. Here's what everyone's been talking about recently, and that is the Vulture from Spider-Man Homecoming, or Iron Scavenger. This is the one from Jazz Inc. I got one of the originals that came out in the first batch, but overall, this is an incredible shelf presence. Look at this thing at the top here. Really, really cool for their first foray into the 6-scale world. But going back to Spidey, here is the advanced suit, or upgraded suit I think it is, from Far From Home. Here is the classic suit Spider-Man from the game, as well as the Green Goblin. I think he goes by Green Menace. And speaking of, here is the Raimi's Toys Era The Fiend. And look at these different gliders, once again utilizing those special acrylic risers. They look fantastic. Love these. Moving down here to some more Iron Man pieces from Iron Man 3. We've got the Iron Patriot. We have Ben Kingsley as the Mandarin. We got Pepper Potts. And the original Mark 7 from the original Avengers. And these are all incredible die-cast pieces. Love each and every one of them. But this one's special. So, nice little Iron Man shelf. Moving down here, and there is the Heart of Tony Stark, by the way. Don't want to forget that. Here we have Teenage Groot from Infinity War, as well as Rocket Raccoon from Infinity War. And there is Captain America with that beard. Underrated figure. Love the body proportions on this one's fantastic. And here is Bunky Barnes, the White Wolf. Love that vibranium arm. Looks fantastic. Love this shelf together. I think they all come together rather nicely. Moving up here to some WandaVision, we have Pietro and, of course, Wanda. Here is Vision. This is the Age of Ultron version. I'm not getting the WandaVision version because it's the same thing, but this is the Age of Ultron exclusive edition. Love that look. It looks fantastic. She looks incredible. Even the rooted hair is not too bad. But yeah, Quicksilver, one of the better likenesses out there overall, and just a fun little running pose. And who doesn't love these sneaks? Got some fire on his feet. And then one of my other favorite figures in the collection, that being the Civil War Scarlet Witch. Such an iconic look, such a great head sculpt, and really happy to have this piece. She looks awesome. There is Ant-Man. That actually came with the Scarlet Witch. But here is a third-party T'Challa in his Wakandan robes. Got his beads. This is the Black Panther official head sculpt of Chadwick. I swapped that out here because the mask is on the other one. I'll show you that. But here is the Civil War Black Panther. Love the proportions on this, as well as Civil War Falcon. Of the two, this is my favorite Falcon. But it's hard to get them all in there, especially with the wings, but did what we could. And there's his little drone bird. Red Wing, I think is what it's called. Moving down here to some more Ragnarok pieces, we have Stan Lee in his barber getup. Really fun cameo. Here's some people's favorite Thor, that being Road-worn Thor from Ragnarok. And, of course, Doctor Strange from Infinity War. I will not be getting the No Way Home version because I think it's kind of the same, but I will be getting the Multiverse of Madness. Moving down here, we have my only Black Widow, actually, for now. There's Natasha, as well as Clint as Hawkeye from Endgame. And because they spoke with Red Skull, why don't we put Red Skull right here? Here is Red Skull with the Tesseract from Captain America, the First Avenger. And speaking of Captain America, we'll get to that in just a quick second, but here is my favorite Spidey shelf. I love these. Here is the Iron Spider from the PS4 game. My favorite official Spider-Man piece, that being the Scarlet Spider. It's the best proportions, it's got the best material. Here is the 2099, really cool, but a little hard to pose. Here's the Anti-Ock. I do love the deluxe base that I have on him. That Anti-Ock suit is awesome. The black and yellow really pops. But I do like this Spidey shelf. I think it looks pretty darn good. And that is my favorite Spider-Man. Moving down here to some more Winter Soldier pieces with the Winter Soldier himself. We have Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier. And he's held up pretty well. That's one of the older figures, but he's doing okay. Here is the 2-pack stealth suit, Captain America. I love this blue shield. And I love this outfit. And he does have the Captain America head sculpt from Endgame, because he did wear it. You can see the difference between these two. This is the civilian cap that came with this 2-pack, and you can see just how different the head sculpt is and how much it improved. Really fun to see. I like it. Moving down here, we have Maria Hill, as well as the Winter Soldier Falcon, as well as Age of Ultron Captain America. I love the colors, love the suit, and love the magnetic shield. That's fantastic. So that's one of my better Captain Americas that I have. I like that one a lot. This is a fun little magnet box just from Captain America Civil War. So a little fun little Easter egg. But here's another Captain America, the 2012 version from Endgame. And this is the definitive 2012 version. I actually recently got rid of the original one. The colors, the proportions just weren't great. So I switched it out for this. Here's Nick Fury from the Winter Soldier, as well as the original Avengers Hulk. Massive beast. Love that thing. Hard to fit him in, but he's in there regardless. So yeah, if you're thinking about getting that Captain America, highly recommend it. So that's that for this side. Let's get into this side as well. Now, I'm going to talk about these black curtains in just a second once we get into it, but let's talk about the figures. Let's finish up this Marvel section, shall we? We have Professor Hulk, Endgame Thor with the properly sized Stormbreaker. Love that. Love the sculpt. Here is everyone's favorite Captain America, for the most part. Endgame Captain America, the Broken Shield. Overall, really, really nice looking figures. Let's look at some die-cast pieces, shall we? Here is the clean Mark 85 with the Tony Stank head sculpt, which I have, as well as the War Machine or Iron Patriot. It is a beast of a figure. I love it. Here is Pepper Potts and her rescue armor, the Mark 49. Love all these complementary pieces with the Iron Man shelf. They look good. There's a Nano Gauntlet. Here is the Wakandan shelf. A lot of great figures, starting off with Shuri, another great female sculpt. Love that one. Here's King T'Chaka. And this figure is really great. It's the same as the Civil War body of Black Panther, but you look at the colors and the sash and the gold, really, really pops. Here's Eric Killmonger. It's a shame I'm not using his head sculpt, but maybe we'll figure that out later. And then here is Black Panther with these real nice ultraviolet black light. You can kind of see that effect on there. I think it looks really cool. And I love being able to have all these Black Panther figures in the collection. I do need a throne, though. Moving down here, we have Team Suit Tony Stark, as well as the Nanotech Tony Stark. That's what we have going here. Combat suit, and that's the Mark 47 head sculpt. And I think these are Obi-Wan hands, actually. I'm not for sure, because the ones they came with were kind of crappy. But it does complement this Neon Tech Iron Man very well. I think they go really well. And as I said, here's the Team Suit Tony. But as you can see, we've added in these scroll accessories and hands. And that's a really darn good head sculpt for just a third party. Looks awesome. Look at those purple eyes. That looks sick. Happy to have those all together in the collection. Moving on to another Iron Man shelf. Now, I said that I like the Mark V as my favorite design, but this is the best die-cast Iron Man they've ever done, and that is the Mark 46 from Civil War. It comes with incredible battle damage, the bruised Tony Stark head sculpt, as well as a really nice diorama base. I went ahead and added Captain America's shield there to help tell a little bit of a story. But here is the original die-cast Mark III in that power pose landing. I think it looks pretty impressive and tells a good story. And here is the Mark 47 from No Way Home. I like the silver. Some people don't, but I like it. I think they look pretty good together. Moving down to some show stealers and some shelf space awesome pieces. We have Gladiator Thor as well as Gladiator Hulk. Now, I think this likeness is probably one of the better Thor likenesses, but they have some shelf presence. And they look awesome. I mean, look at these tattoos. Look at that head sculpt. Look at the weapons. Absolutely fantastic. Moving down here to the biggest piece in my collection. That's a figure. Notice I said piece because I got some statues to show you. But there's the Hulkbuster as well as the Mark 43. Love having all these from Age of Ultron. That is one heck of a piece. And our last Marvel shelf. Let's open this bad boy up. we will start with Ultron from Age of Ultron. Now, a lot of people don't like that he's not die-cast. They don't really like the way it looks, but it's a good figure, I think. It fills out a story. We have in-game Thanos here. He does have the snapping hand from the Hulk. I went ahead and threw that on there. Helps tell a story, as I said. Love doing that with my displays, but it looks good. But here is the Battle Damage Mark 85 with the best Tony Stark head sculpt I think that we've ever gotten. But you can just feel the emotion from this scene and what it represents. Love the little diorama base. That will always get points from me. Now, back to Thanos again. Here are some of my favorite pieces, and you'll see why. This is Infinity War Thanos. A lot of people don't really like this figure, but when you put him with his Black Order figures, it really, really pops. Here's Proxima Midnight. Here is Ebony Maw, aka Space Wizard. And I went ahead and knocked over Proxima Midnight, so let's go ahead and try to fix that real quick. Put her right back there. There we go. But yes, the Black Order figures are essential to this Thanos, and boy do they look good. Now, finishing up here, we do have my first die-cast Iron Man figure I ever got, that being the Mark IV. And look at this Jeff Bridges head sculpt Ensign Ironmonger from Iron Man. So that is it. That is the Marvel shelf, the Marvel collection. So we're going to take a quick break, and then we will get into talking about these black curtains. Now, as we take a quick break here, I did want to say, as you noticed, we do have my Instagram handle down there. If you've not checked that out, that is where I have all my toy photography as well as some different photos from the collection. So please check that out. We're trying to get that to 5,000 followers on Instagram. So please, if you've not done so already, go ahead and check out Kiko Collects on Instagram. So you may be thinking, what is the deal with the black curtains? Well, originally, there used to be windows in this room. Well, there still are, but I wanted to go ahead and kind of cover them up. As I put these up, I realized and tried to make the best option on my displays for dummies, but I came to realize I did not like the light that was coming through, and I needed to rectify that. And I wanted to make sure the figures were going to stay protected. So I went and got some black curtains and some curtain rods. As simple as that. So I went ahead and threw these on top of the DTOF, as you can see. Doesn't look that bad, but it does give it a nice contrast. As you can see, just drape them back there, and I kind of like it. And we're going to take a look at these figures in just a second, but that's all it is. It's just black, no light through curtains, and that's what I did. So overall, I wanted to keep the UV out. I wanted to make sure you could still see the figures, so I didn't want anything to get washed out. So that's what I did. So we'll talk about these figures in just a quick second, but I want to show you something else. And as you may know, I have started to get into the statue game. And I do want to talk about these real quickly before we move on to Star Wars and a few other things, because I think these are some real signature standout pieces. Now, the thing about statues is that they are big, they are very expensive, and they take up a lot of real estate, as you can see. This specifically, this Venom, is an exclusive edition. It is one of 400, comes with a special head sculpt that you can swap out. It is from PCS, but it's an impressive piece, incredible. Here is the Mythos Darth Maul figure from Sideshow. Love this thing. Look at that base. It looks fantastic. Here is a Gentle Giant bust of Darth Maul as well. But overall, this figure is absolutely breathtaking. Moving over here is something that is really important to me because my wife got this for Christmas, of all crazy things. It's a mixed media piece. As you can see, he's got a fabric cloak back there and mixed with the actual parts of the figure. I think he looks great. It does come with a Clone War clone helmet if I wanted to swap that out, but these are my statues and that I've gotten so far. I do have a couple other ones as well that I will show you, but I will probably be adding a few more pieces. But here is a Jeremy Bullock signed helmet. Wanted to show that while I had it. Didn't want to forget. So now let's get into some other pieces right here, starting with some very unique pieces that you don't really see a lot of. That being the 3-0 Ninja Turtles. These are all from kind of the 80s kind of vibe that I have here that I grew up with. But these 3-0 pieces from Nickelodeon and from the Out of the Shadows Michael Bay film. Say what you want about the film, but these figures are fantastic. They're all from the second, as I said, Out of the Shadows, except for that Raphael. Now, we'll talk about this child piece when we get into the actual Star Wars, but let's move on to some other 80s classics, that being the Back to the Future figures. We have Marty McFly from Back to the Future 2, Doc Brown from Back to the Future 2, and then this is the re-release, or the update, from Marty McFly. And of course, it comes with Einstein. Who doesn't love a nice little dog to add to it? But overall, these are fantastic. I can't wait to get more Back to the Future figures, as well as the DeLorean. Now, here is another classic figure. This is version 2 of the Hot Toys Joker. I think it's the DX12, maybe? I forget. But here is a custom Joaquin Phoenix Joker. I do love to see some third-party figures represented in people's collections. And then here is my favorite Harley from Suicide Squad. Let's went ahead and added her in there. And that is a custom tongue, by the way, because I didn't like the little tiny one that she has in her mouth there. So here are some Jokers and people. Here is Saul Goodman from 3-0, Better Call Saul, as well as the 3-0 Breaking Bad Jesse Pinkman, and Walter White, or Heisenberg. I love Breaking Bad. I do have the Mezco kind of bobbleheads, but I do want to get the hazmat suit versions from 3-0, but they are a little bit pricey. So maybe we'll get those eventually, but I do want to have them. Now we'll talk about the Mandalorian helmet and figure in a minute, but here are the pride of my collection. Centerpieces. These are the Blitzway Ghostbusters. I've said before that this was the biggest single purchase that I had ever made, and I don't regret it at all. I love each and every single one of these. This 4-pack comes with the Slimer, the Sign. I am still looking for the Ecto-1, but it could be coming sooner than later. I'm trying to work out a few things, so we'll see. So let's get to some clowns. Here is the Mime Joker. I think that's the DX14 from Hot Toys. Here is the Nicholson Joker from Batman 89 in his classic purple outfit. One of the best head sculpts ever. Love this bad boy. As well as the Keaton Batman. Love that thing. And check it out, it's Pennywise from It, with one of the best bases ever. Not a bad little clown shelf, right? Here are some more Batman pieces. We have some villains such as Bane from The Dark Knight Rises. We have Two-Face from The Dark Knight, as well as Commissioner Gordon from The Dark Knight. Now, this is my favorite Commissioner Gordon because it's a little different than, his classic suit, but I love the head sculpt, love the glasses, and this is the original Dark Knight. I think it's the DX12. I'm not going to be getting the DX19. I think it's the one that just came out. Don't really have a desire for that. I like this one just fine, but it's not bad. Looks really good. Now, here are some things that no one thought would be added to my collection, but how about these 3-0 DLX Transformers? I love the Transformers franchise, loved all the Michael Bay films. This one is from Revenge of the Fallen. This is from Bumblebee, the movie. But they're all die-cast, greatly posable, lots of pieces on it. Love these things. Can't wait for Jetfire to get here. I do have that one coming. Now, check out some pop icons. These are the Michael Jackson figures from Hot Toys. Now, I know it may be a little bit controversial to say it, but I think Michael Jackson is one of the greatest artists of all time. There's the DX03 Bad. Here is a third party. I think it's King of Figures from Smooth Criminal. And then here is the Hot Toys Thriller, as well as, there's another stand I used, as well as the zombie version that came in the 2-pack with the Thriller. Here is Michael Jackson's Beat It, and that iconic pose and outfit. And then my single figure that I spent the most on, this is the Hot Toys Billie Jean, a true Hot Toys grail, and this one is special. Tough to find, and I am so happy to have this piece in the collection. And lastly, before we get to Star Wars, here is Gizmo from Gremlins. It's the Metacom 1/1 prop replica. And this is awesome. It's the best Gremlin Gizmo that you'll see. It's got movable eyes. It's got real fur. It looks awesome. But let's talk about these Star Wars pieces before we get into some of the actual pieces. Here is the Sideshow replica Child. This is the superior version, in my opinion. to the actual Hot Toys articulated version, and I'm fine with this. I think this looks just what I'm looking for, and it looks awesome. Here is the Black Series Mandalorian helmet. Looks great. I do have the Darksaber on the way eventually. That will go right in there with it, as well as a Gentle Giant bust of Beskar Mando. And speaking of Beskar Mando, here is the quarter scale Mandalorian figure from Hot Toys with the deluxe base. People always wonder, is it worth getting the deluxe? And I think so. I think the display really is helped because of this incredible piece and incredible base. But it is a lot of money. It's a lot of space to come up with. But overall, it looks pretty good. And of course, it does come with a quarter child, which is a nice little piece and all kinds of extras. But overall, I think it looks pretty good. But this was my first quarter scale figure, and that is Return of the Jedi Darth Vader. Now, I will show you the additional head sculpt that it comes with, but this is the deluxe as well. It comes with a really good base, and I think it looks really good. It's an incredible shelf presence. Happy to have that giant Darth Vader. But check out this statue from Sideshow. This is the Rancor. Now, this is not the full 6-scale version. It's the scaled down version, but I think it works perfect in here. And here is the speeder bike from The Mandalorian with the child. So let's get into the rest of these Star Wars figures. Oh, well, what do you know? Another commercial. Yes, giving you an opportunity to catch your breath before we get into the next section. As I mentioned, if you've not done so already, please subscribe to this channel. I need to get to that 4,000 mark. We're sitting around 3,100. So if you are watching this and if you've not yet subscribed, do me a favor. Go ahead, follow, click this bell. That way you know when new content is going to drop. Also, let me know what it is that you want to see on this channel. And without further ado, let's get back to it. And here is one of my favorite figures, Endor Luke of all things. Now, I didn't think I would have this many Lukes, but here we are. And I really like these both. I love the whole Endor aesthetic, and, you know, I think this head sculpt looks really good with the helmet. I think it looks great paired up with Leia and the poncho. Now, a lot of people hated on Wicket when it first came out, but he really has grown on me, and I really, really like him. I hope they do some more Ewoks. And then there's Leia, with Leia's lightsaber, which we'll talk about in a few minutes from that Rey figure. But here's some Attack of the Clones love, shall we? We have Count Dooku. We have an incredible head sculpt on that. But here is the Sideshow exclusive Battle Damage General Grievous. A lot of hate for this figure. It's not the most sturdy, but if you're going to have a Grievous, I think he looks great. And if he's going to just be doing simple poses, might as well add him while you have the chance. But this is the exclusive version. Here is also the Sideshow Jango Fett. The Hot Toys one is en route, believe it or not. Sideshow did ship that one already. But I do probably will keep both of them. Do a little bit of a display difference. But overall, I think they look really, really good. And speaking of double figures, here's Darth Maul from the Clone Wars, but wearing the DX-16 head sculpt. I do think it is the superior head sculpt because this is the superior Darth Maul figure. I love this as the DX-16. I love the proportions. I love the snarling head sculpt. They just absolutely knocked this one out of the park. So if you do pick up this figure and want to swatch it out, I think it looks pretty good. Here is Liam Neeson's Qui-Gon. And kind of another sleeper pick again. Not a lot of people were excited about this, but I think after the Obi-Wan series, and if an Episode 1 Obi-Wan comes out, you're going to wish you had this. Moving down to some more Sideshow pieces, we have Sideshow C-3PO. And I don't know when we'll get a gold version, so this will do just fine. Here's the Force Awakens R2-D2, which I think looks fantastic. And this is the DX-07 body and outfit with an alternate Luke Skywalker head sculpt that I stole from another Luke and put on there. Just had to mod it just a little bit. All things considered, I didn't like the original head sculpt, but there's the exclusive little head. But overall, I think it looks pretty good. And here is Yoda from The Empire Strikes Back. Very cool. Love the floating rocks. Moving over to some of my favorite pieces in the entire collection, we have some Rogue One pieces with Chirrut, Deluxe Jyn Erso, Imperial Disguise Jyn Erso, as well as K2SO. And once again, I thought this Chirrut looks fantastic. All the Rogue One figures look great, especially together. Great shelf presence. But here is Ben Mendelsohn as Director Krennic. Love this figure. Love this special edition Death Trooper with the little doll. Very hard to get on the secondary markets, going up in price. Love that dynamic base. And here is the Mandalorian version of Death Troopers. And I think these will be highly desirable once Gideon released and we see more of those and display options, but I think they look good. I think they're a superior trooper design. Here's a Gentle Giant bust of Grand Admiral Thrawn. And I think looks pretty good here together, all things considered. Here is our Shore Troopers. Now, I did get the original one, paid a little bit more for it back in the day, but here's the Grunt, here's the Squad Leader, here's the Captain. And you know what? I like the subtle differences, and I'm happy with them, and I'm happy to have all three of them. So I think the original is going back up in price because people like to display them kind of like this, and I don't blame them. Here's some more troopers. Need a little help on the display down here. Going to be building this out just a little bit more, some more troopers, but here's the Remnant Trooper. Here is the Scout Trooper from The Mandalorian, which is one of my favorite looks and designs. Love the weathering, as well as the Patrol Trooper from Solo. Love that figure. Not bad. So we're going to build that shelf out in the coming weeks. Here's some more troopers, especially, but here is one of the best figures of all time, Peter Cushing's Grand Moff Tarkin. Now this is from the 2-pack, and I love this figure. Love the sculpt, love the tailoring, love this chair. This is just a normal Return of the Jedi Stormtrooper, nothing special about that, but it does look good together. But here is my favorite version of Vader, and that is the one that came with the Tarkin 2-pack, the one from New Hope. And it's real similar to the Rogue One build, but aesthetically I think this is my favorite one. Now, I did talk about this being the alternate head to the quarter scale Vader. As you can see, Sebastian Shaw. Looks really, really cool. You can display it that way, but here's the Emperor. The deluxe version with his throne looks great, and you can't have the Emperor without a Royal Guard. And I love the red and how it pops. And if you didn't notice, check it out. It's Fig Set, a way to enhance your displays. Check them out. Link is in the description below. Check it out. Here is a little bit of a red aesthetic, but I do love this Solo Maul. I gave it a lot of crap when it first came out, but it really grew on me. I love the articulation. I love the different types of metal legs. We do have a Coruscant guard. We have an Incinerator Trooper. But yeah, a little bit too much red in there. Not bad. But there's the hologram piece from Deluxe Obi-Wan. But not bad. I think I like it. Now here is one that really gets people going, and that is the holiday special Boba Fett. Got a great deal on this a long time ago, the animated version, but man, it looks good next to that Death Watch Mandalorian, as well as the Tank Trooper from Rogue One, another great trooper design. So, mismatched shelf, but I think the colors kind of work and looks pretty good together. So, moving on to the Mandalorian. Here is my favorite Mandalorian, that being the Durasteel Mando, which I think is the best one they've done so far. I love the aesthetic. I like the browns. I like the grays, and really like that pauldron. Really neat aesthetic. But here is IG-11, and I said before, if you have not gotten this one, you will regret not getting it at some point. It's great. Here is Heavy Mando, an absolute beast of a figure. Camtono, and of course, pretty much every Mando comes with a child, and there is the child. Here is the Beskar Mandalorian with the child, of course. And here is a little bit of a kit bash Luke. When I got my Endor Luke, it came with this black cape when I got it from the toy department. So I swapped the head sculpt, swapped the hair, and gave it this Mandalorian look, which I think until we get the official one, doesn't look too bad. Here is the Armorer. Now, a lot of people don't like this because of the elbows, but I think it looks good, and I think you'll regret not getting this one too. So not bad. These are custom thigh pieces and rocket launchers for the kneecaps. It's doing the job until we get the official Season 2 version. Now here is some of everyone's favorite pieces. Ahsoka Tano from the Clone Wars. Love how they came out with this figure. Love the eyes. Here is Rex with one of the best sculpts that Star Wars has done. And I didn't know if I wanted to display the helmets or if I wanted to go with the head sculpt because it's so good. But look at this figure. Love the weathering. And here is a 501st or a 332nd because we threw the helmet on there. Here is Old Man Rex. Love that. I think it fills out the shelf pretty nicely. Not bad. Coming down here is Hoth Leia, as well as some video game Battlefront Snowtroopers. I know the Snowtroopers are something that everyone was hoping for when the 40th anniversary came out. They're highly desirable, kind of expensive, but man, they just look good. Happy to have those. And here is my only Black Series piece that's a figure, an Imperial Probe Droid, but I think it fits nice. Moving here to, as you know, my absolute favorite figure in the collection, that being Anakin Skywalker, the Dark Side Edition, paired with Obi-Wan Kenobi from Revenge of the Sith. I think that figure will continue to go up, and there's Deadpool making a nice little cameo on top of that Mustafar droid. Love that base, love that 501st, but we'll show you some more of those in a minute. But man, look how special that Anakin is. Moving down here to the DX07 with the battle damaged look. And I don't know if they will be making a battle damaged reissue. We do have the new DX Bespin Luke coming, but this Bespin Battle Edition is probably my favorite of them. Love how the gruesome hand is there. Very, very cool. Love the blood on the shoulders, but here is Empire Strikes Back Darth Vader to go along with it. And I love the presence of this too. I love that base. Look how good that looks together. They look awesome. And here are some classic pieces. Once again, I don't know if we'll ever get another Han Solo, so I had to have this one. Here is Chewbacca, the 2-pack, but they're just special figures. They look so good. I love the way they look, and the look is not complete without Leia, the original Leia from A New Hope. Love that. Love Carrie Fisher's likeness in that, but that's a real special shelf as well. Moving down, some more A New Hope figures with Old Man Obi-Wan Kenobi, Alec Guinness. Such a good head sculpt. Very thankful to have this. We got Farm Boy Luke. Not the best Luke, but still good nonetheless. And there's a Tusken Raider to help complete the look of Tatooine there. But very special figures overall. Love that Kenobi. Love that Kenobi. Now, here is the original Revenge of the Sith Anakin Skywalker, the light side version. Got the different lightsabers. The Clone Wars one's on the way, so we'll fix that when we get there. Here's Cody. Love that. Here is the other 501sts. One has the Phase 1 sculpt, and the other has the Phase 2. And of course, we have Yoda from Attack of the Clones. Love this little green guy. And I know very highly desirable on the secondary market. Here's some Empire action. Let's take a look at Princess Leia in her Bespin gown. Looks beautiful, as well as Boba Fett. This is the deluxe edition, and I chose his Empire Strikes Back outfit because it's the most iconic. But there is his Return of the Jedi helmet, if you wanted to switch it out. And here is Billy D. Williams, Lando Calrissian, and I love that look. Love the sculpt. Cape's a little wonky, but I'll let it slide. Now, here are some awesome pieces. We have the 2-pack of Boba Fett from The Mandalorian Season 2. Look at this. Incredible likeness. It's crazy good. I love his nomad look. I love the different bases, the atmosphere bases. And man, just look at this thing. I love the look. Love the look. And there's a fig set. Check them out. Now, 2 figures I didn't think I was going to own, but they were just too good to not have. I did not care for the sequel trilogy. I've not been shy about that, but look at these. Kylo Ren, got Rey. Love the helmet it came with. If you did want to light up, the lights do shine through the cracks. But man, look at the tailoring. Look at the lightsaber. Look at the likeness to Daisy Ridley, as well as Adam Driver as Kylo Ren. So definitely happy to have those. Now, that's going to do it for the Star Wars pieces, but I will show you my final pieces, but I can't really open up the glass because of that Snowspeeder or Scout Speeder, but I do have some 3-0 Game of Thrones pieces, so let's take a look at those. We do have the Night King, was the first 3-0 Game of Thrones figure I got. We got the White Walker, we got Bran, really cool little wheelchair. Here's the best Dany they've put out so far. Got some rooted hair as well as sculpted, but that's her from Season 5. Jon Snow. And one of their best figures that they've come out with recently, and that is Tormund. Not a bad look at all. Good sculpt, good tailoring, really, really sick. And here are the Lannisters. We have Tyrion, as well as Jamie from Season 7. And here is Cersei. She's a little bit iffy, not great, but you can still tell it's her. And I do need Sansa, and I do need Ser Jorah Mormont. They are on the way. But here's Arya Stark. I think she looks pretty good as well. Good tailoring. Here's Ned Stark with ice. And here is Dany. Probably the weakest figure in the collection. But they're a little bit dated, but you can see it. But that one's a lot better. So that's it. This is the Collection Room Volume 6. What do you think? Did we make it? Lots of stuff in here. Over 230 figures. Let me know if you enjoyed this. If there's things about the display, questions you want to ask, let me know. I enjoy sharing this all with you. I love interacting with you, and I can't wait to see what's next. Well, that is going to do it for today. You have finished the Collection Room Volume 6. Who knows what's coming next? There's a lot of great things in the pipeline, but the one thing I do know is that you will not want to miss a thing on this channel. As I said, go ahead and like and subscribe if you've not done so already. Share this channel around with somebody. I would certainly appreciate it. Feel free to send me a message on YouTube or on Instagram, and I will be seeing you in our next video.